Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nafifa binti Muhammad, matric number 1211. 594. We are from group 4 and today we will present about the topic which is the role of sadaqah, zakat and wakaf as a catalyst for community well-being. Okay, for the introduction, the three cornerstones of Islamic social responsibility such as sadaqah, zakat and wakaf play an integral part in enhancing the well-being of a community. One of the main obligations ordained in Islam is sadaqah giving. There is also a strong recommendation and even more so in the Quran and Hadith that here are noble way of spending one's wealth for Allah. Tawheed is the basis of Islamic faith. According to Mirza and Biden 1999, define Tawheed as unity or oneness to God. Among the uniqueness of Islamic economic system, that it requires zakat payment. Muslims are required to give zakat, which is one among the 5 pillars of Islam. The institution of wakaf represents a fundamental pillar in the making of Islamic history, economy and civilization. Okay, next we move to data collection. The data collection that is study use our qualitative research design. The researcher used the qualitative method, which is it collect the data through online observation and library research. In this research study, the non-probability sampling was employed, whereby data are included in a sample. The researcher used indirect observation. Apart from this, the researcher also employed document analysis. First, official document, which is it cite reports, policies and financial records by organization entrusted with the sadaqah, zakat and wakaf. Second is personal documents. It analyzes various diaries, letters or social media posts and others. Okay, furthermore, library research method is specific in relation to a systematic analysis of secondary sources like journal, papers, books regarding Islamic knowledge and others contributing information.
My name is Zakira binti Zainuddin. My matric number is 121600. So I continue with overview of sadaqah, zakat and wakaf. First is sadaqah. The term sadaqah is derived from the Arabic root word sadaq or sidku, which literally means to tell the truth or to be sincere, from Hansware 1918. So in the context of sadaqah, this means that there are no set standard for who is eligible to receive sadaqah or for how it should be given. Furthermore, there are no monetary prerequisites for granting sadaqah. And then the purpose of sadaqah or charity is to support the community in maintaining a respectable quality of life and meeting the fundamental needs of the underprivileged. Zakat is a word zakah derived from the word meaning pure and fertile, including clean, blessing, growing and good for zakat well, zakat prayers and zakat recipients. From Muhammad Abdullah and Abdul Qudus Sohaib 2011, zakat is the most cardinal and vital system in an Islamic order. Its nature, structure and function can be better envisaged in the total perspective of Islamic system of life. Hence, it becomes imperative to elucidate the basic tenets of Islam and to highlight zakat as basic institution of social order. So, in the context of zakat, if a person's yearly income surpasses the required minimum, they are obligated to contribute wealth as a duty. The person will be required to give away their fortune annually as of the date. As is a personal responsibility, the charity or sadaqah should not be put off. Al-Wakaf means endowed property. However, in context of Islamic jurisprudence, wakaf refers to a person who for no other reason than Allah SWT give over all of his property rights. So from Hisham Yaqub 2013, there are several types of wakaf, namely wakaf khairi, general, wakaf fi ahli, family, wakaf mustarak mix, wakaf istibdal, exchange, and cash wakaf or wakaf share. So in the context of wakaf is based on 4 wakaf pillars. First is the person who endorses property, whether it be an individual or institution, which is al-wakif. Second is any property that we call wakaf. There, whether it be fixed or mobile, is referred al-mawquf. The person who owns the property that is wakaf or who benefit from the wakaf is known as al-mawquf alayh. And lastly, the endowment use the word sirah to endow the property.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatinaina binti Muhammad Nasir. My number matric is 121652. Okay, I will continue for my part is about issue of sadaqah, wakaf and zakat. Society's understanding of sadaqah, wakaf and zakat has shifted, with sadaqah referring to giving for reward from Allah Ta'ala. Wakaf referring to holding back something, and zakat referring to issuing certain property at a certain rate to certain groups. These concepts are now less important in Malaysia, where issues arise regarding the understanding and knowledge of this concept in the Malaysia community. For the first issue is contaminated water wakaf. Second, digitalization of the zakat management system. And third, flexing culture sedekah in social media. So, I will continue for contaminated water wakaf. The water wakaf issue in Malaysia highlight the universal importance of water, covering 70% of the earth's surface. Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala made water a bequest to mankind, referring to well-being and peace and joy. Water wakaf practice such as construction or purchasing wells make the wakaf alive among Muslim. Persatuan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu, as we know as PBB, issue a resolution in 2010 promoting clean water for individuals and the environment. In Malaysia, 90-70% of water source come from rivers, with only 30% used for groundwater. However, nearly half major rivers have been polluted due to ineffective enforcement against polluters, such as illegal factories and community members using them as trash. Pollution can cause water supply disruptions. After that, wakaf, a century old tradition of Muslim around in the world, encompasses many forms of practice, including the development of knowledge, education, social, political and military activities. It has many benefits, including estate planning. In the long term, it can lead to a financially literate society, reducing confusion and misunderstanding in property management. The second issue is digitalization of the zakat management system. Public dissatisfaction with zakat institutions, collection and distribution system, transparency of information delivery and service quality is a common issue on social media. The digitalization of the zakat management system is seen as inefficient, particularly affecting the trustworthiness of the community. The elderly who are less skilled in the digital management are also involved in the process. 12 Malaysia Plan 2021 to 2025 commits to improving digital communication through the National Digital Network, as we know as JENDELA. Not only that, zakat institution need to identify stakeholder perception and acceptance toward the quality of zakat service for effective functioning and socio-economic justice. Organizational transparency increase with online access to information, and trust in zakat institutions increases with an organized system for all age groups. Implementing strategy to create confidence and awareness among stakeholders is essential. For the last issue is about flexing culture sedekah in social media. The Malaysian community is discussing the flexing phenomenon, particularly in relation to sedekah. Rapid internet technology has influenced media order, with YouTube being the most accessed platform. Content creators compete for economic profit, with sedekah being exposed as a commodity. Islamic view on flexing and its impact on sedekah attitudes. It suggests that flexing can lead to negative attitude and motivation, and that hidden sedekah is more important if ethically and based on sedekah principles. The study also highlight the negative consequence of exploitation of sedekah. Flexing culture or displaying luxury or maintaining existence is prevalent on social media. This trend construct with the teaching of Sharia. Condition of as in Surah Al-Baqarah in verse 271. Meaning is, if you reveal the sedekah openly, then that is good because it's a good example. And if you hide the sedekah and you give it to the poor, then that is a better for you, and God will remove from you part of your faults. And remember, Allah is all-knowing deeply of what you do. Giving sedekah secretly is crucial to avoid feelings of riya, which is the act of showing off for praise or flattery from others. Let's take care of our words and actions so that every sedekah reward we have then become a share in the afterlife. So that's all from me.
Okay, next we move to the analysis of dakwah to issue how far is the implementation of sedekah, wakaf and zakat in our life. First, we go for da'i. Da'i play a crucial role in teaching Islamic values through charity programs, promoting social concern and community involvement. They can also increase religious awareness through efficient zakat distribution and transparent channeling of funds. Da'i also support education and the spread of religious knowledge through wakaf, highlighting the advantages and rewards of doing so. They can motivate the development of wakaf in the community, emphasizing its importance as an instrument of long-term development and its impact on the public. Overall, Da'i's role in these areas is significant in promoting Islamic values and promoting social responsibility. The second one is Mad'u. Sedekah can benefit the economy by providing economic assistance to those in dire need, easing their burden and empowering them to become independent. Zakat, on the other hand, can eradicate poverty by providing regular financial assistance and creating social justice by distributing it to eligible groups. Wakaf, on the other hand, encourage sustainable development by providing long-term financial resource for public facilities like schools and hospitals, benefiting those financially unable to afford them. It also supports education and health sectors and ensuring optimal access to these facilities for needy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Sabiha binti Hazman. My metric number is 1211587. So I will continue about Maudu'. Maudu' refers to the content of preaching or the material that the preacher is trying to convey. The content or knowledge must be aimed at forming towards truth and goodness only. Any teaching that contradict the Quran and Sunnah should be avoided. A da'i must be knowledgeable about sedekah, which is charity, wakaf and zakat, so that it can be conveyed to men well. These three elements have different meanings but have the same goals, which is to get closer to God. The topic that you want to bring should be clear so that can take input on our presentation. Most people already know that what sedekah is. Wakaf has many benefits because was facilitate other people's affairs such as donating the Quran, stationery, tables for public use. Zakat needs to be emphasized because there are still people who don't pay zakat because they don't know and refuse. The topic of sedekah, wakaf and zakat is rarely a topic of discussion at any knowledge gathering. It is more focused on the topic of current issues and fardu ain. Many do not know and take these three elements, which is sedekah, zakat, wakaf, especially zakat. Although zakat is obligatory for every Muslim, issuing zakat is one of the obligation from the fifth pillar of Islam when the conditions and all are enough. Islam sees well as a gift and trust from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to be managed in the best possible way, such as spending it on good and beneficial things, providing sustenance to those under His responsibility, and channeling it to charitable matters such as alms giving and especially giving zakat. Next, I will continue manhaj. The Prophet preaches da'wah using various mediums and methods. The combination of these two is called manhaj. Of course, the manhaj used it from Al-Quran and Hadith. It is mentioned that charity, which is sedekah, is repeated 5 times in Quran. Wakaf is mentioned 60 times while zakat is mentioned 30 times. The Quran and Hadith emphasize a lot about these three elements, especially zakat because it's an obligation. Therefore, to all the preachers should understand correctly the concept to be conveyed, reference sources and others so as not to run away from the real track. The duty of da'wah does not depend on individuals, whether Muslims need to play the role of spending da'wah in the best possible way because those who spread da'wah will be rewarded.
Lastly, the conclusion. Islam demands both the total extinction of absolute poverty and the arrangement that economic activities ensure blessedness for everyone. In the zakat system, Islam stresses upon reinforcing a philosophy about how poor members have some kind of right in sharing wealth and income generated by richer citizens. After that, sedekah aims to support the needy out of love for humanity, while giving in Islam does not just because it loves mankind but goes further than by gaining Allah's mercy. Even their contribution to wakaf practice by Muslims influenced the spiritual and human progress greatly. That's all from us. Thank you.